All right, guys, welcome to the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society live talk show. This is episode number 29. I want to welcome everybody out there that's watching tonight. My name is Jason Snyder. I'm the founder and team leader of the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society, and I'll be your host tonight. We're going to do kind of a short show because we're going to go out tonight and do a little investigating. So we're going to kind of call this one early tonight. But we wanted to give you guys a heads up on where we're going to be Friday night. So hang in there for that. We're going to make the announcement first right here on our live talk show. So you do not want to miss this announcement on where we're going to be investigating. But I had some internet problems getting tonight. Sorry, getting a late start as always. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't even know if you guys can see me again as always. So I may be talking to myself. But you can visit our website at crawfordcountyghosthunters.org and check it out, or give us an email at illinoishauntings@gmail.com. We answer all emails, try to get back with you as soon as possible regarding investigations and locations we go to. If you do have a place you want us to investigate or check out, you think might have the presence of some type of paranormal activity or unusual phenomena taking place, definitely send us an email at illinoishauntings@gmail.com, or send us a message on our Facebook page, and we'll try to answer you as soon as possible. We get a lot of messages, so we will get with you, I promise, regarding any type of unusual phenomena you may be experiencing. You can visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/Crawford County Ghost Hunters if you're not already watching from there. And the reason I announced that is because we also go live from YouTube at youtube.com/Crawford County Ghost Hunters. We just do not monitor live questions from the YouTube channel. So switch over to Facebook, guys, if you're watching from YouTube and you want to get stuff answered tonight. You can also check out our page at Instagram.com or at Crawford County Ghost Hunters at Instagram. And later on tonight, guys, we're going to open up the call-in line. We haven't done that for a little while. We're going to open it up in case you guys have any questions. You want to call in with any of your experiences or stories regarding some of the topics we're going to talk about tonight. It's going to be a short night regarding, what we talk about. We're probably going to only go about an hour tonight due to the investigations we're going to go out and do here later on. So we will try to answer all your questions and have the call-in line open. If you've got any stories you guys want to call in and tell us. But music tonight, as always, by the Midnight Syndicate, all rights reserved, used with permission. You can visit their website at midnightsyndicate.com or check them out on Spotify. They have a lot of cool music you can check out. I believe they're also on YouTube, but midnightsyndicate.com is their website if you guys like scary music. So I'm solo again tonight, guys, but I want to tell you about where we are going to be this Friday night, and I'm going to try to get the comments up and enabled here so I can read who all's out there tonight. Looks like we got a pretty good crowd again. Karen Cat, Tammy Joe, looks like all the people. Laura, glad she's doing well out there. Laura, I know you've had some health problems here and there, and we appreciate you, watching us all the time. We support you, and everything you do too. And we hope you have a good recovery with all your stuff you've got going on, Laura. We appreciate you watching the show, especially, when you are going through stuff like that. So we like to see the fans watching us and people out there, that watch day in and day out. So Tammy Jo says she needs an investigation. I know it's coming Friday night, guys. It's going to be a good one. So we will definitely have an investigation for you guys, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Tammy's saying, are you going live for the investigation tonight? I don't know. We might. Just depends on what type of activity we get. If we do, it's going to be late because we're not going to get to this location until about midnight. So if we do go live tonight, guys, it will be about midnight, but we might actually do that. I don't know. How many out there want us to go live tonight? Give us a thumbs up if we go out. Let us know you want us to do that. But I'll wait and see how much response we get out of that. But I'm going to make an announcement here on where we're going to be this coming Friday night. And we will be going live 100% for sure. This Friday, the 22nd of January, 2021. And this place was at one time rated as like, I think number 4, one of the top scariest places in, I don't know, according to the Travel Channel. I don't know if it's the United States or Indiana, kind of giving away where we're going. We're going to be in Indiana. But this place was rated as, one of the scariest places. It's been on a lot of shows, a lot of media coverage about this location we're going to be at. And it's supposedly rumored to be haunted. But I hope we just don't encounter another Willow's Weep situation. But anyway, the location we're going to be investigating this Friday night is Whispers Estate in Mitchell, Indiana. And you guys heard it first right here on our talk show, because I haven't even put the advertisement out yet on our Facebook page. So if you are a listener and a watcher of the show, you guys get, updated news before anyone else by watching this talk show. So we are going to be at Whispers Estate in Mitchell, Indiana. And if you guys don't know where that is or what that is, it's basically an old house. I believe it's like a Victorian style house, and a lot of stuff has been reported to happen at this location over the years. Like some of the history, and I haven't dove deep into the history of the location yet. I have researched it a little. From what I found out, there was 2 sets of doctors that lived there, 2 different families that had doctors in the family. And one of them was a John Gibbons, I think. I have to look that back up. But anyway, because I haven't researched the heck out of it yet. But the guy was a doctor. He lived there. He had a real bad luck with his family, and they say like 6 people have died in the house. So they've confirmed 6 people have died in the house. Now, I've already found a little controversy regarding one of the deaths that took place at Whispers Estate. And that was one of the females named Rachel, which was supposedly a kid of this doctor, one of their kids that died in a mysterious fire. And there's big little, I don't know, from the research I've done, there's a little controversy over whether that fire actually happened and whether Rachel actually passed away in the home. So that's where we're going to be. We're going to be investigating this location. And I'm pretty excited because I was talking to the owner of Whispers Estate, and he was talking to me about this. And believe it or not, guys, he said one of the things that happen here is coins get thrown. He said mysterious coins come out of nowhere, and they find these laying around. They don't know where they come from. So you guys all know where I'm going with this. Is it going to be like similar to Pylon Manor? I don't know. We get stuff happen about. I tell people if they go to Pylon Manor, at least once out of 3 times you go, you're going to experience the activity that takes place there. So, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see anything at Whispers Estate or not. We're going to be there one night, the 22nd. I think we're going to be starting the investigation at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to kind of do a little history and walkthrough tour, with the owner. I think he's going to be there and show us the location, and then we're going to investigate it. And I believe we're going to be there probably about 4 a.m. And, who knows what's going to happen. But there's been a lot of reports of activity at Whispers Estate as far as other teams experiencing stuff. And like I say, the coins being thrown. The reason why it got the name Whispers Estate is because they claim that the walls almost talk to you. You hear sounds in there, you hear voices, you hear people whispering that you cannot explain. So it's going to be a really, really cool investigation. Ruben says, "Who's that behind you?" I don't see anybody, but I hope there's nobody behind me. If they're talking about me. But if you guys see somebody behind me, please tell me, because I don't. I may have to break out the gear here. But the place is like got a room in it. I think they called it the Oculus room or something like that, where it's full of mirrors. And they've taken this room and they put mirrors all around it, which it originally was not like that, obviously. But Ruben says he's joking. Good deal. He scared me there. But they have this room with mirrors all around it, and supposedly they get a lot of activity in the mirrored room. So it's going to be really neat. We're gonna go live probably from the beginning to the end, hopefully, and record and document everything we see and hear there at Whispers Estate in Mitchell, Indiana. Karen says, I don't think anyone can beat the activity at Pine Lawn. Yeah, I don't think so either. It's kind of spoiled us, Karen, and I've talked with Dickerson and other team members about that. We've seen so much activity at Pine Lawn Manor that it does kind of spoil us now. And we got to be extremely careful investigating other locations because we're just quick to be like, oh gosh, nothing's here because we're not getting stuff thrown at us every 10 minutes. But we will try to, do a good scientific investigation of Whispers Estate and debunk any rumors or dispel any rumors that we might come across too. That's what we do. If there's something we find that just doesn't jive or there's something that just doesn't make sense with their stories, we'll definitely let you know. And we will definitely let you know, if there's legitimate activity taking place at the estate there in Mitchell, Indiana. And I think we got about 6 of us going now. So there's probably going to be about 6. I know Dickerson's going, Courtney Mendenhall, Ed Brees, Amanda Roughton. Trying to think who else is going that night. But I know those guys are all going with me. So it's going to be a fun time. We're going to, set up all the equipment. It's going to be a full-scale investigation. We're going to put the cameras up, the infrared video camera system we're going to put up. We're going to monitor it with EMF meters, eddy meters, motion detectors, motion-activated cameras to see if we pick up any type of phenomena taking place there. So that's where we're going to be this Friday night on the 22nd. Like I said, I haven't even put it out on the Facebook page yet. So I'm letting you guys know firsthand here that we will be doing that. The skull on the shelf behind you. Oh, yeah. You can't see half the stuff in there, guys. You'd probably freak out. Some of my collection of strange objects is in this room. So it wouldn't surprise me if something doesn't float past me behind here because I've got bricks and stuff from all different haunted places across the United States in this room. So it's probably haunted from residual activity. But trying to read your comments here, guys. Can't wait. Everybody's saying. So, yeah, that's where we're going to be. So look forward to that one. Another place we are going to be, get that off your screen there. No location we're going to be investigating after that. Probably the previous way. It's going to be in February. We've got several places lined up for February, March. I mean, we're going to be going, all into the summer again with cool places, guys. But one of the places we're going here soon, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get live, be able to do a live feed there because of the internet signal, because it is horrible. Last time we were in the area investigating is the Steppe Cemetery area over in Indiana, which is near Monroe County and Morgan Monroe State Park. It's a location called Draper's Cabin. And the cabin is located in the woods, pretty much in the, over in the cemetery area where Steppe Cemetery is located. And a lot of people claim to have strange experiences in this cabin. So that's another location we're going to be investigating soon. And I'm hoping to, I'm reading the China Balls Friday night. Terry says, find some China Balls Friday night. Yeah, I'm hoping that Whispers Estate throws us some China Balls there, Terry. I doubt it's going to happen, but we'll see. What time? I think Jennifer's asking. Are you asking what time on the Whispers Estate investigation, Jennifer? Is that what you're asking? If that's what it is, it's going to be 8 o'clock Central Standard Times, and we're going to be going live from Whispers Estate Friday night. The Draper Cabin investigation, Steppe Cemetery investigation, that's going to be coming up within a couple weekends after that. And we will definitely let you know when that will be also. So, but Draper Cabin's located in the woods, and there's not a lot of signal back there, not a lot of cell signal. And if possible, we found another location in that area referred to as Salamander's Cave. And we are going to be investigating that. That's also in the Bloomington, Indiana area. What happened at Salamander's Cave is 3 individuals died pretty much in floodwater. 3 kids were exploring the cave, got trapped in there, and couldn't get out. You're not supposed to go in this cave during high water, and these individuals went into the cave anyway. I'm not sure. I've got to look at the reports again on what year that was. I'm thinking it was the 60s or 70s. Don't quote me on that, but I got too much information running around in my head right now. But it's called Salamander Cave over in Monroe County, Indiana. And there was some, like I say, 3 deaths. And people have reported strange things happening in and around the cave since those deaths took place. So we're trying to get permission to do the cave when we go and do Draper Cabin. No promises on the cave because, like I say, we're trying to go through the sheriff's department and try to figure out, who we need to contact to get an actual investigation set up in the cave. Problem with a cave investigation, we've investigated caves before. We've investigated Cave in Rock. I've investigated Marengo Cave, done EVP sessions in Wyandotte Cave, different caves, in Indiana and Mammoth Cave. We've done investigations in. So, we've done a lot of caves before, but the problem with cave investigations is live feed also. You're probably not going to see it due to no signal. We thought about running a signal booster down into the cave and broadcasting into there for, see if we could pick up any type of, signal or cell signal at all down there. May or may not work. We're going to try and see what we can do. If it doesn't work, we're going to just film live or just video, with our camera and then post it up as a video later on. It won't be live, but at least you guys will get to see what we did in the investigation, maybe even little clips of the investigation we done at Salamander Cave if we go ahead and get permission to do that. Tiffany says, hey, Jason. Hey, Tiffany. I don't know if she had a question or she's just saying, hey. But Chris said, I'm off Saturday so I can watch Friday. Found out today I have lesions on my kidney. I hope you get better, Christopher. I'm sorry to hear that. We'll be thinking about you too. So hang in there, man. We appreciate your support and watching us also. So, but yeah, definitely, guys, we got a lot coming up. Oh, just saying hi, she said. I thought maybe she had a question. Okay, Tiffany, hey. Video is better than nothing, Laura's saying. So, yeah, we'll try to video inside the cave and post it up if you guys want us to do that. Because we're going to try like heck to do a live feed there at Salamander Cave, Draper Cabin. There's also, we're going to try to get back into Step Cemetery. It was vandalized here recently, so I'm hoping they'll let us back in. They let us in the first time, and it's been vandalized since we've done that investigation, like by some kids or something. It's just bad. They tore the Step Cemetery sign up, broke it, busted a piece off of it. There's also a location in that area where people see the guy that gets hit by the car, and they call into the local sheriff's department. Nobody's there. Like the sheriff's department will respond and they won't ever find anything, but everybody reports hitting this bloody guy, and they actually think they hit somebody. And it's right in front of a cemetery. It's another cemetery down the road from Step Cemetery where all this activity is reported. Again, it's called into the sheriff's department, and the sheriff's department says, yep, it's a ghost. I think I talked about this on previous shows. So we're going to be going back to investigate that location again, since we're going to be in that area while we're trying the cave. But a lot of stuff going on, within the next month and month or two. Just want to kind of update you guys on what was going on there with our investigations, and definitely tune in, guys, Friday night, because that's going to be a good one for Whispers Estate in Mitchell, Indiana. We will hopefully, I'm sure we'll have good live feed there, because it's not like it's out in the middle of nowhere. As far as I know, it's like kind of in a suburban area with a lot of houses around it from what I can see. And that's good and bad, because when you get a house that's in like an urban area with a lot of houses, like you get a lot of background noise and noise contamination from other houses, cars going by. So hopefully we have a good investigation there and are able to, conduct good EVP investigations and ITC investigations into that location to determine if there is anything intelligent, happening, an intelligent ghost or spirit, at the Whispers Estate. Tammy says, make sure you have a camera rolling, which you drive through there. Yeah, I'm so ready for live and your team having withdrawals. I know I am too, Tiffany. We've actually went out a few times. We've done investigations, I don't know, about 4 or 5 since the year started, but we haven't went live on any of them. But we definitely will try to, maybe tonight, if we go about midnight, I'll see if we get signal to location we're going to. That's the thing too. A lot of these places we investigate are in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I barely get internet signal at my house where I do this show from. So it's just imagine, out and farther away than this. Caller says, man, still plays in the road. Yeah. But I'm trying to read a comment. But if you guys have any questions, just feel free. We're going to kind of do a question night tonight. I'm going to open up the phone line here in a minute too, if anybody has anything they want to call in about. But what we're going to talk about too, tonight's topic, I want to talk about technology and the advancement of technology regarding ghosts and spirits and their ability to use our advancement in technology, such as computers, cell phones, the newest things that we have available to us. And that's one of the things that, I wanted to cover tonight. One of the things that's we've had a lot of reports about over the years is, ghosts and spirits they're now able or seem to be able to affect and use, this new technology like smartphones, even the manipulation of apps, like certain apps like Snapchat. We had a couple investigations where people contacted us regarding strange things happening with Snapchat. And one of them was an individual that passed away in a car wreck. The family and friends had contacted me regarding this, that the individual looked like they were opening the Snapchats being sent to them after they passed away. And a couple Snapchats were even sent from this Snapchat account to a friend after the individual had passed away. So, that brings us up into interesting theories about ghosts and spirits and the manipulation of our modern day technology. And a lot of people don't think about. If you guys have followed us for a long time, you've probably seen our investigations. It was probably 2019. We did an investigation into a cell phone incident where there was a motorcycle wreck along the highway. And every time this lady was going through this particular area, she was getting a guy come through on her cell phone conversation, telling her, different stuff like help me and even I love you. And it come to find out, this lady didn't know that one of her she had moved away for a while, came back. She didn't know one of her former boyfriends had passed away in that particular spot from a motorcycle wreck. And she was getting his voice coming across her cell phone every time she'd come home from work. It was coming across, and she didn't know who it was at first, and then she done some research and found out he died right there in that area, and it really freaked her out. We did a big investigation into that. If you guys don't remember that one, definitely go back and watch it, because that was that was really amazing. He was trying to communicate with her, and let her know basically he was okay. He recognized her going through there. That's what we found out through research at Pine Lawn Manor. I wasn't sure about all this stuff. Do they recognize you after death? Do you look the same? Do they look the same? Pine Lawn Manor has taught us that they definitely recognize us. They recognize who we are. They remember who we are. Just like when Luke, former team member, told him to throw a dime at me. They said throw a dime at Snyder. And I was in a different part of the building, didn't hear him say that. I got a dime thrown at me. So they know who I am. And it proves that ghosts and spirits, when we pass on, we do keep our intelligence, our memory. It proves a lot of things, but that's what's going on with this haunted highway deal, we investigated. But the manipulation of modern day technology is what I'm talking about here, through cell phones. Are they going through the towers? And I've said this for years, cell phone towers, radio towers, they are hot spots and hot areas for paranormal activity. The ghosts and spirits are using these devices to, either the EMF or electromagnetic fields associated with them, the energy coming off of them, they're either using them to manifest or become stronger, or they're, can they even be going through a cell tower or going to a local radio station? We've even had the theory, can they go to a local radio station and go through the mic on the radio station and come through, like a local AM, FM channel? by broadcasting, somehow their voice through that, because people reported hearing weird noises in the background of, local radio stations. And we've investigated, like 1, 2, 3 or 4 radio stations. Some of them have been local, some of them haven't, but where they've reported strange things. Radio stations are reporting seeing, hearing things, and their towers outside, they are definitely like beacons. They could be like just drawing these, ghosts or spirits into the area, or they could be feeding them energy wise and enable them to communicate with us. But the thing I'm getting at here too is a ghost and spirit that died, back in the 1800s. Or let's say like 1880, you've got a guy that passed away. His technology was way different than our technology. Are they able, the older ghosts or spirits that are still hanging around for some reason, are they able to manipulate our newer technology as well as a person that maybe died last year in 2020? Because, the 2020 guy knows all this new technology and the 1800 guy doesn't. But it's a cool experiment, we've been messing with for a long time. And I've even asked during EVP sessions, do you recognize this device? You know what I'm using? Especially if I'm in an older cemetery, I'll explain to them too what this device is, what it's for, and why we're using it. And that's why sometimes you'll hear me say that on our EVP sessions. I'll say, speak into the red light. We can hear you on this device and we play it back. It's because when you get a ghost or, an individual that died in the 1800s, they've never seen a digital recorder before. They have no idea what that piece of technology is. They have no idea what, a lot of our stuff is. So you have to explain that to them. And I think that, people, ghosts and spirits are getting just as intelligent with manipulating the newer technology because of the apps and the Snapchat deal I was telling you about earlier. People getting Snapchats from dead loved ones. And that's like a common report now. People are having weird stuff like that happen. People will get messages, this is going back a little bit in time, but they got messages on their answering machines back when they had the magnetic tape in them. You would get a weird, strange message on a answering machine, and it'd be from somewhere else possibly. People reported picking up telephones and talking with a dead relative. And it's just, the list goes on, regarding the technology, the telephones, and can they communicate like that? Are they tapping in from another dimension? That's what we don't know. Or are they actually, just here and manipulating our new stuff? But Diana Durr says, I swear my best friend sends me songs just when I need to hear them. They're personal songs. And we had said that, sorry, I lost my place. That's how we would communicate. Oh, cool. When he passed. Well, that's pretty neat, Diana. Especially if you guys said that. That's really cool. And that's what I like to hear. I like to hear you guys' stories, of things that's happened like that. And that validates stuff too. When you guys have a lot of stories of things, but the songs, that's been reported to us for years too. I myself, I've had a strange encounter with songs, in my life, where I think somebody was also playing songs to indicate to me, who they were, to kind of give you a sign that that's them. And loved ones do that. I think, it's like Terry Embedden says, I truly believe they have the ability to utilize everything. Very intelligent. Yeah, I do too, especially after Fine Lawn Manor. They can get plastic balls from China, guys. They can manipulate your cell phone. But my parents had the same house number since 1960. It's been in my mom's name. And after she passed away, in the middle of the night, the phone rings, and on the caller ID, it's her name, and my dad will not answer the phone. That's pretty neat. I would tell him to answer the phone, see what's going on there, and try to record it. You can also, take a digital recorder, try to record the conversation if it happened to be a loved one on the other end, see if you can record that and pick it up. But that's really cool. You guys have those stories. But I am going to open the phone lines up tonight if anybody wants to call in with a story or just wants to talk about something like that. But like I say, topic tonight is technology and how ghosts and spirits can manipulate it. I'm going to throw the phone number down there. I should be scrolling right now. But if anybody wants to call in with a story, if you don't, that's fine too. But like I said, we probably won't do a really long show tonight. But we will talk about like some theories behind why, ghosts and spirits are still here too. That's one of the things we were going to talk about tonight, was the theory of, why are the ghosts and spirits here, along with manipulating this technology. Some places like Gettysburg, obviously, when you have a lot of death, a lot of negative or positive even energy in one particular location, it can cause an area to be haunted. Like the battlefields of Gettysburg, that seen so much negative, energy and activity that took place there. It's kind of like a residual type haunting, or a lot of that stuff kind of is like time replaying itself. It's like a battery absorbed it, and then it releases that over time. But some of the theories behind why they're still here is, unfinished business. Like, do they have something that they didn't get finished before they passed away? There's a lot of theories behind, actual, hauntings and why they're taking place. There's also a big thing about suicide. Some religions believe that. I don't like to get into a lot of religion, but it does play a big role in paranormal research and investigating. So I talk about it sometimes. But a lot of religions believe that if an individual commits suicide, that they do not go to a good place. And, I don't really have an opinion on that. I think that, I've seen a lot of places that are haunted, where suicides took place. But if they're haunted, that doesn't mean they went to somewhere worse than where we are here, because they're causing activity here on Earth. So if you believe in a heaven or hell, a lot of these suicide locations are haunted. So they obviously didn't go straight to hell, if that's what you believe in, because a lot of the activity in a lot of the places that are haunted were suicide locations. And they do tend to be a little more active than other locations when you've had a suicide take place. And a lot of times people, I think that comes from regret after it happens. We've got several EVPs in suicide locations where they say, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it." So it seems like, it's probably a good idea at the time. And then after they've done it, they realize, it's final. But it's so, there's a lot of strange things with suicide hauntings and suicide locations that we pick up. So I don't know. Suicides are a big cause of haunting like activities, but why are they here? What can they pass on? Can they move on? Who knows? And that's the thing, about ghosts and spirits. Why are they here in the first place? Why are they not somewhere else? Why are they not in another dimension? Or why are they not in heaven? Why are they not in hell? Purgatory. Some people think that this is purgatory or this is hell. Even, I've had, there's been several theories as to what and where, these ghosts and spirits go, where they come from. And there's also a big debate on the difference between ghosts and spirits regarding, after you pass away. Some people, and I kind of lean more toward this theory. It's just a theory and an assumption. We don't know anything. But my thing that I lean toward is that spirit is more of an individual that can go from one place to another. If there is a dimensional doorway or some other place, they can, like a loved one passes away and they decide to come see you at Christmas. I call that more of a spirit visit, where a ghost seems to be haunting a particular location and not leaving. So that's my difference between a ghost and a spirit. A ghost pretty much stays at a location, doesn't seem to move, and it's continuous activity, where a spirit, you may encounter the spirit of your loved one shortly after they pass away and never see it again. They may move on, pass on into, the light or wherever it may be. Looks like we got a caller here. Let's see who we got here. Welcome to the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society talk show. This is Jason.
Hi, Jason. This is Linda Felter. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good. You were talking about technology, and I found this really strange. About a week or so ago, I called my nephew, and he didn't answer, so I left a message. And I said, "Hey, Chris, this is Aunt Dee. give me a call back. And he called me back later, and we talked and said, what I called him for. And he said, "Do you want to hear something weird?" And I said, "Yes, I guess so." He said, "You called and left a message, and I have a program or, an app on my phone that transcribes what the message was left, and so he can just read it and still listen to it."
Yeah.
And he said, this is what it said. "Hi, Chris. This is Sam. And Sam is my brother who passed away 5 years ago."
Oh, wow.
and he was like, "What's going on here?" So he listened to it. And when he listened to it, it was what I had left. "Hi, Chris. This is Aunt D."
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really weird. What's he trying to tell us here?
Right.
Get in on the conversation.
That's really cool, though. I mean, yeah, and that's what I like to hear stories like that, and like a lot of people are afraid to talk about it. That's why I kind of want to get this out there too, because it's happened to a lot of people, and people are just scared to say, "Hey, I think I got a message from a loved one that way," and it's like, but that's really neat to hear. I mean, that kind of gave me goosebumps.
Okay. And also, I just had a question. What determination did you make out of the penny that you found, the marked penny that you found in Pine Lawn Manor that was from the graveyard?
Yeah, we've pretty much come to the conclusion that it's probably paranormal. There was a car that went by is the only bad thing. There was a car that was circling Pine Lawn at the same time that was going on. But we kind of went to and looked at the timing it would take them for when I talked about it in the video for them to go down and actually, hear that we had pennies there and go down and take one and bring it back. And the time frame didn't match up to when the car was out there. And we just don't think they got in. I mean, we had cameras set up. We had a couple trail cameras in the front. We don't tell people about what we do now because it's kind of public knowledge now after that event. But we had them in the front foyer area, and nothing got captured on the trail cams. So it's a weird deal. And I don't know if you remember that, but that episode I was like, or that investigation, I was specifically talking to BB, and I said, if you want to get in my vehicle and go down there, the cemetery, I'll show you where that coin's at. And just the weird coincidence that it was the one off of her grave. So, that's strange. And for them to put it, see Amanda Routon, she had placed candy canes in on the piano in there that night. And for somebody outside, we didn't announce that or show anybody where that was at. Whoever put it there placed it, pretty close to that candy cane. So they knew when we came back to pick it up, we would find it. So, I mean, again, very, very intelligent there, that, it would put it near something it knew we were going to pick back up at the end of the night. And nobody from the outside, an outside source wouldn't have known where that candy cane was located at in the building. We think there's a lot of evidence pointing that it's paranormal, but
whenever you ended, you hadn't gone through all the, everything, and you were thinking paranormal, but you hadn't ruled out that maybe somebody had, because of the car and everything. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, there was
thank you so much.
Yeah, there was another penny missing, so we're waiting for it to get thrown.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'll try and keep my eye open for whenever you go there. Then.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
Yep. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
All right. Have a good evening. Bye. All right. Got a caller there. That's the stuff I like to hear, guys. Actual, reports from people experiencing activity, that just, I think it's just remarkable, from loved ones trying to communicate with people. And but yeah, don't be afraid, guys, to call in, tell your stories. If you do have anything like that. I mean, I thank her for sharing that. That was pretty cool. That she called in and told us that. But there's a lot of weird things that happen, especially with the pennies we talked about at Pylon, the whole penny from heaven phenomena. And I didn't believe any of that stuff until we started getting that at Pylon, and now I'm researching the heck out of it. I'm researching everything I can find on it. That's what excites me about this upcoming investigation at Whispers Estate in Mitchell, Indiana. When that guy the owner told me they're getting pennies thrown. I mean, that just spiked my interest immediately, because I want to experience another location where that happens, to compare it to Pine Lawn Manor, see if it comes out of thin air, to see if they just appear and they're found, because we're getting them thrown at us. We've had them appear, on shelves. I mean, you name it, it's happened at Pine Lawn. So I want to see if the same type of activity is going to take place at another location. And we've tried experiment after experiment since Pine Lawn at different haunted places, the other most haunted places we could find and locate. We went to an old haunted church where a lot of strange things happen. We tried to get it to happen there. We even tried it at the house in Edgewood. It may have been off camera. After the cameras quit rolling, we tried to get, like coins to materialize. I mean, we've tried it at different locations now. We'll just try it, and we can't get it to happen anywhere else. That's why, I originally thought, are we mentally, which is paranormal in itself, are we mentally projecting this stuff psychically, somehow making it happen, as a group, focusing our energy and somehow producing these objects, which is, again, paranormal as heck if that's what was going on, but it's not happening anywhere other than there. So it's got to be associated with that location and an active ghost or spirit doing it, not us, through some type of psychic ESP ability, but we were trying all options, thinking of all theories, thinking of all, scenarios that could take place. At first I was watching people make sure they weren't throwing it, but just strange, it's not anybody. It's like it's coming out of empty rooms, coming down empty hallways. But yeah, I'm excited for Friday night, guys. See if we got any more comments here. Well, I'm way behind on my comments, guys. Sorry. Okay, Christy says, my father passed away February 4th, 2008. And a few days after he passed away, I seen a dark shadow out of the corner of my eye, which scared me. And, that's a thing that people report a lot of times too, is they see dark things, dark, shadows. And you don't really have to be afraid of that. The whole dark stigma comes from, I hate to say this, but a religious point of view and what religion you were brought up with. Specifically, the Catholic religion really, really believes in dark and demonic forces, and that everything is black, dark, and demonic. And unfortunately, that's carried over into a lot of stuff, and investigators, when they try to investigate. When we investigate a location, we try to keep religion out of it as much as possible. We try to go in with an open mind, not look at it from a religious point of view and have religious blinders on, or we try to take a scientific approach to investigating paranormal occurrences. So, if we've got, and I've had a team member, that was extremely, he was Catholic, and he had some extreme, beliefs regarding that type of stuff, and that's okay. But sometimes you have to set that aside and look at the evidence that's being picked up versus, what's being told to you. And, but most of the time when it's a black object, it doesn't mean it's evil, doesn't mean it's something bad. Sometimes ghosts and spirits show up as black anomalies, and it may just be the way, they manipulate the environment. They may be causing shadows, from the light, but, and do they have mass? That also, is a thing. If a ghost and spirit has mass to be able to set off, motion detectors, be able to set off IR sensors, or be picked up by thermal imaging cameras. Even a thermal imaging camera cannot pick up a ghost or spirit unless it has some sort of mass. you see all this stuff on TV where you see these floating this stuff on thermal imaging camera. Well, a thermal imaging camera has to send out a beam and bounce that off a solid object, which is, some type of heat source, and about everything on the planet gives off some type of heat source or some type of, image that can be registered by a thermal imager, whether it be hot, cold, but you can't pick up a ghost or spirit on a thermal imaging camera unless it's somewhat solid. So that's why I don't understand on some of these TV shows, they'll get these ghosts walking around on the thermal imaging cameras up in the balconies and different places. I mean, that indicates a solid object was picked up on that thermal imaging camera, not a see-through, vaporous ghost that you think of them as. So could they become solid? Sure, I guess they could. Anything's possible. But going back to the black and dark shadow thing out of the corner of your eye, a lot of people will see that out of your side vision. And that's common, to not look directly at it and see something move. But shadow people, shadow objects aren't really evil. They can be our loved ones too. Just because they're shadow-like objects and stuff doesn't mean it's like something bad. And we rarely find anything that we believe is negative. And when we do, it's a location where we're investigating a negative occurrence. There was a lot of murders, maybe by one particular individual. We've investigated houses where murders have taken place shortly after they happened. That's bad negative energy associated with the area. I guess if you want to call that evil, it is, but it's people themselves are evil. Man does evil deeds. It's not like it's a separate entity like a demon. And because we don't believe in demons, and we've found no evidence of demonic activity. And I've said that 100 times on our show that demons I've found no proof of demons. It's mostly mentally ill people when it comes to possessions. But hopefully the ghosts are calling you there. Are you still looking into buying pine lawn? Yes, we are, Paula. Definitely. So, but I'll tell you what, guys, we've been there. We've been to Pine Lawn this year, I think, a couple times. Our last public event that we went live at Pine Lawn was, I think, the 26th. It was right after Christmas, and that's when I was sick and couldn't attend that event. There was a golf ball thrown at that event, and to my knowledge, we've been there 2 times since then. Nothing has happened this year at Pine Lawn. So it's starting to scare me. We've been there 2 times, and nothing's happened since the 26th. So hopefully the activity has not stopped or something like that. But we didn't go on good nights either. We've been keeping patterns of Pine Lawn also when the good nights are. The good nights are full moons, new moon, weird things like the solstice. That was a really good night. But it seems like when you have a lot of planetary stuff going on or a moon phase, definitely affects the paranormal activity at any location, and definitely at Pine Lawn. But we kind of went on off nights when nothing happened. But as of right now, 2021, we've not had anything thrown at us at Pine Lawn. So we haven't been there as much as obviously we were last year. We've only been a couple times, but that's the status on Pine Lawn right now. Carrie says, when I was 18, I'm 35 now, my brother gave me a trailer for my first home. My stepdad had passed away that same year before I got the place. Got weird vibes the whole time I stayed there. I heard noises all the time. And one night in particular, I was laying on the couch and felt like someone was near me. And I turned my head and there was a big ball of light just sitting there in the hallway. No windows or doors to the hallway. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Balls of light are seen at a lot of locations, but you got to be extremely careful when you photograph them because, like, a lot of times it's dust particles or natural phenomena that causes that. But when you physically see one with the naked eye, and I have seen me and Riley Miller were out. One of my team members, we were out in a cemetery one night. Actually, it's called Brooks Cemetery over in Jasper County, Illinois. And I asked the ghosts or spirits, I said, if you're out here, can you physically show yourself in the form of a light? And I bet it wasn't 30 seconds later, we saw this ball of light. I mean, we both seen it fly through the cemetery and over our heads. And she freaked out. And I was like, did you see that? She's like, yeah. And so, we both seen that ball of light. So, I mean, I know balls of light can be associated probably with paranormal activity, but it's very rare. But that's interesting. I mean, I like hearing stories, about lights and stuff. There's a whole phenomena about ghost lights and the red lanterns, even some people call them. There's a story in northwestern Crawford County, actually in the Bel Air area, where people reported seeing balls of light travel down the creek. And they nicknamed them the Red Lantern because they were red colored and they looked like somebody carrying a lantern. People would chase them in their vehicles or chase them, on ATVs. They would chase them, on horseback, get up to them, and they would just vanish. So it's kind of like some of the lights out west that people report, some of them in Missouri, different states, where they're ghost lights. You get there and they're gone. It could be gases. It could be a natural phenomena. Ball lightning's been reported and understudied for years. Ball lightning can really look strange if you've ever seen that before. But yeah, that's pretty cool. You saw a light. I think they can show up in a lot of different forms, from lights to black shadows to white masses to, smells, songs, perfumes, cigar smoke, just a lot of different ways they can make themselves known. Even like manipulating. Some people believe they can manipulate certain animals or bugs. If your loved one liked, butterflies, and you're sitting on her grave, and all of a sudden, like 2 or 3 butterflies come down, act, unusual, and land on the grave, that could be a sign from a loved one too, probably. Paula, we are going live Friday night. If you missed the announcement, we're going to be at Whispers Estate in Mitchell, Indiana. So that's kind of what I kind of want to get on there tonight to talk about, just to let you guys know that's where we're going to be. And it's going to be a cool night. So we're going to go live at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time from Mitchell, Indiana at Whispers Estate. And if you guys are watching out there, definitely research the heck out of Whispers Estate, because you guys help us too on the live feeds, and we appreciate that. We don't research the places extremely well sometimes, just because we want to see what we pick up on the recorders. And if we have a predetermined mindset that there was all these names when we go in there, well, it's called audio pareidolia. You want to hear those names when you're there, and it's automatically like, oh my gosh, we know Rachel died in a fire there, so we're going to hear Rachel on our ghost box. We don't like that. It's like predetermined mindset that that's what you're going to get. So sometimes we don't, research a place, completely like we want to until afterwards, just so we don't have all that stuff running in our head, and, we got kind of a blank mindset. But definitely, guys, research the heck out of Whispers Estate. There's YouTube videos. There's tons and tons of other teams that's been there and investigated it. There's history videos on it. It's like I said, I think it's been on the Travel Channel. Paula says, look forward to it. Where are you going tonight? We are probably going to an undisclosed location. It's an old church. And we do ITC sessions and EVP sessions in this old church. And we do have permission to be there. But the reason we don't tell everybody where it's at is because we do not want it destroyed by the public. It's an older church in the middle of the country. It's abandoned. And it is one of the most craziest places like I've ever seen as far as like EVP and ITC research goes. We go there to do a lot of experiments with our new equipment, like ghost boxes or any type of ITC device or instrumental transcommunication device that we use for communication with the dead, basically. We do a lot of experiments you guys don't see and we don't show online or on our live feed. But yeah, that's one of the locations we're probably going tonight. And we probably, if I can get signal there, I'll go live, guys, but I'm not promising anything. But we are 100% going live Friday night. So trying to catch up on your comments. But that's pretty much all I had for tonight. I just want to kind of go over, the different theories, about why ghosts and spirits are here. You got your unfinished business. You got suicide. They just don't want to leave. Some of them are afraid to cross over into the light. That's a theory. Maybe they just don't want to pass over into the light because they're scared of what is waiting on the other side. Just a lot of theories as to why ghosts or spirits are here and they don't leave. Some people think they die so suddenly they don't realize they're dead. There's theories that, maybe we're the dead ones. Ed mentions that in Pine Lawn all the time, when we're sitting there. It's kind of freaky when he starts talking about it, but he's like, have you ever thought maybe we're the dead ones? And I'm like, yeah, I've thought that, Ed, but, and we may be the dead ones, in the eyes of a ghost, because we're still inside our bodies trapped, here. So, to a ghost, we may be the ones that are dead. So they may be hunting us. So that's kind of a little different viewpoint on it, that we talk about a lot of times too when we're sitting out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, don't forget to bring a battery charger, Carrie says. Yeah, we got to get one of those for sure. I think we need to bring a heater again tonight too. It's a little warmer than it was though. What's the next piece of equipment you would like to get? Paula's asking. There's a lot of stuff we're looking at out there. We're extremely careful with commercial equipment that's being built by some of these ghost hunter stores and stuff, because a lot of it is hokey and hyped up equipment. So we focus on documentation through photographs, video, audio. So if it's any type of audio equipment, video equipment, photography equipment, that's what we focus on with our equipment and our purchase and advancement of technology regarding equipment, instead of like the greatest and newest, like EMF detector that has blinky LEDs and will detect temperature and somebody sneezes over in Africa. We try to keep our stuff real and like the basics. We try to upgrade the basic stuff of documentation that we can. So we're not into the flashy gadgets and like all the stuff that's being developed by a lot of these places. So but yeah, we try to get like a lot of audio equipment. There's a few audio devices we're wanting to get, different microphones, different recorders to try out and try to advance research into some of the EVP experiments. But what's the best way to make a donation? Do you have a Venmo or PayPal? We do have a PayPal, Paula. I can send that to you though. I mean, I can message you the PayPal. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, we appreciate donations. I mean, I don't ask for them, but we do appreciate donations because everything helps advance our research and help out. But yeah, if anybody's interested, I can send you the PayPal, Paula. I'll send it to you. We appreciate anything. Besides Pine Lawn, what's the most haunted place you've been? The church. Sam uses this camera. Probably Travis. The Robinson Spook House I spoke about on our older episode, talking about our older investigations. It was pretty haunted. The Fife Opera House in Palestine, Illinois is extremely haunted. A lot of activity took place there. The Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary in Tennessee, we got some pretty good activity too in D Block. I mean, I legitimately think there's some activity going on there, but a lot of the other big name places like we've been to just didn't really impress me. It's weird because you get all these big name places that are hyped up, and that's the ones that like hardly anything happens at, and then you find this off the chart nowhere place, hole in the wall like Pine Lawn, and it's the craziest thing we've ever seen in our lives. So it's I never know where we're going to find the next Pine Lawn and the next haunted place. It could be somebody's house, it could be a garage, it could be the cave we're going to check out, in Monroe County. It's just like but we've seen a lot of haunted places over the years, but nothing we would classify as haunted as Pine Lawn Manor. Still, I mean, to my knowledge, but the Fife Opera House was pretty good in Palestine. Unfortunately, Preservation Society, the new Preservation Society, doesn't want investigations conducted there, so we can't further our investigations into that location. We investigated probably 100 times. I mean, we just as many times that we have Pine Lawn, but it's like they restored it, and after they restored it, they don't really want anybody in there now for some odd reason. But we investigated it prior to it being restored, the Opera House area. We actually helped raise money to restore the building, and then they don't want it known as a haunted location now. So that's where we're at with that. Diana Darcy, thanks, Jason. Love your lives and investigations. Most of all, love the way you and everyone goes about it. Never have to worry about it being anything other than what you're truly experiencing. Yeah, we try to keep it real, Diana, and sometimes too real. Like, if we drop a few F-bombs out there, I apologize, because we never know what's going to happen. But yeah, we try to, just let you guys know what we're actually seeing, feeling, hearing, and if we're not seeing, feeling, hearing anything, or having anything come across our equipment, if we're not documenting any type of evidence, and we're going to tell you that too. The place isn't haunted. We think these reports are bogus. We can debunk a lot of this activity. And I think that's what a lot of these teams need to get back to doing, is debunking stuff instead of trying to collect evidence like a trophy. And that's what's happening with the paranormal community right now, is a lot of these teams, a lot of these investigators, even, investigators that go out on their own, they think they have to find a ghost at every location they go to. It's like they think they're not a good paranormal investigator if they don't find a ghost at every spot. I talk about this, on all my shows, just it gets me, because and like I told you on the last show, I'd rather go with those people that don't get evidence and debunk stuff rather than the ones that get evidence at every location they go to. Because obviously the ones that get evidence at every location they go to are probably not getting, legitimate evidence at every place. Any little sound that comes across a ghost box, it's automatically a ghost or spirit from another world, and the place is haunted. And they're not trying to validate that ghost or spirit is actually coming from that location and not somewhere else. It could be audio pareidolia. They want to hear what's coming across that ghost box, and it's not really there. Same way with EVPs. Sometimes they'll listen to the whispers and they'll want to hear something so badly that they believe that's what it's saying. She says, "Don't care about the F-bombs. Just keep up what you're doing." Thanks, Diana. Yeah, if we do start doing that, something's about to get real. But I remember a couple occasions, like I think we were going live over by Merrim, Indiana one night, and we were filming, and it was in the dark, and I looked up, and I thought I seen somebody standing right behind Dickerson, and yeah, I let a few slip that night, because it was like shocked me, because I looked and there was like a face right behind Dickerson, and that was kind of freaky, just to look up real quick and see that. That's one of the times I can remember, but still waiting on the bowling ball at Pine Lawn. Oh, this is really weird, Carrie. You mentioned the bowling ball at Pine Lawn. That Terry says, "How do you feel about mediums?" Just kidding. Yeah, you don't want to get me started on mediums. But yeah, Carrie says still waiting on the bowling ball. But the weird thing is, a few of my team members spent the night at Pine Lawn here the other night. We got cots, and we made this room. We brought a heater in. Actually, they spent the night there. I couldn't, because I went, but I didn't spend the night because I had some stuff going on the next morning. But when they got up the next morning, they went up into the attic area and did some more exploring to see what they could find, to see if they could find any objects up there in Pine Lawn. Where is this stuff coming from? She's mentioning a bowling ball, and I've been asking these ghosts and spirits to throw a bowling ball forever. And the weirdest thing is, I think it was Amanda Johnson and Ed Reese, maybe Amanda Rout. I don't know if she was there or not when it was found. But they found plastic bowling balls up in the top attic of Pine Lawn. So I think they took them down and put them there, and I wish they would have left them up there, because I guarantee you they would have threw those things next. And it would have been a plastic bowling ball instead of a big one, and I've been asking for bowling balls. It's extremely weird that they found those up there. It was like a fake plastic, like kids bowling ball set up there. And man, I wish they would have left them where it was at. But I think they took them down into our warming room, like our room that we set in for our, investigations now when it's cold. But I'll keep you updated on the bowling ball thing. Hopefully, now I don't like it, because, like I say, he's moved that from somewhere else. So maybe it'll transport it from that room to down the hallway. But I want it to be a real bowling ball, like with weight. I don't want the plastic one. I want a bowling ball from like the bowling alley. Ben says the night at Willow's Weep. Yeah. Willow's Weep. Yep, that was a big debunking night. And they're still mad about it. Willow's Weep is still mad at us, guys. Dave Spinks, he still does not like the idea that we debunked his house. Cindy Vaughn, is there a difference between ghosts and spirits? Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. I think ghosts are kind of stuck here. Ghosts don't travel. They haunt the area for long periods of time, where a spirit can come back and forth like a loved one. It may, if you believe in, wherever you go after you die, maybe it goes there and can come back, whether it be a heaven, another dimension, another place. I think spirits can come and go is the difference. And then that's my difference between what I call a ghost and spirit. And a ghost is more of an individual that is stuck here, like somebody maybe that committed suicide and for some reason is afraid to pass over or cannot cross over. And it may be both, like the ghost or spirit may be scared to go on into the light because they're in fear of judgment, because they were told their whole life that, if you commit suicide, you're going to a bad place. So then when you die, a person commits suicide, for instance, he may be stuck in this earth plane and somehow able to pass over, but afraid to in fear of judgment. That's one theory behind suicides and haunted locations also. That would be more of a ghost, something that's stuck here, something that repeatedly haunts the same location, where a spirit, comes and goes like a loved one after they pass away. They may visit you, your bed. You wake up, see your mom at the end of the bed. She waves at you, disappears. You never see her again. That's more of what I call a spirit. Some people might call that an angel. I don't. I call it more of like a guardian spirit or a spirit, a loved one passing away and just visiting you. But that's kind of my theory behind ghosts and spirits and what the difference between them is from, my experience, my research and doing this for so many years. I mean, that's how I classify different, entities and hauntings that people experience and have, through, whether it's a ghost or a spirit taking place. But I think we're going to call this one a night, guys, and maybe go check out a couple places, see if we can go live. Like I say, no promises on the internet signal, but definitely check our page out. We're going to be officially announcing the Whispers Estates investigation tomorrow morning. It's going to be posted on our page, and we're going to share that all around so everybody can share it if you want. Please share that ad I post tomorrow, so people can get on and watch our live feed of that location. We may find something amazing, and we may debunk the whole place like Willow's Weep. You never know. So definitely tune in tomorrow or on our page. Check that out. Share our ad we're going to post up tomorrow about Whispers Estate. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching the show. Ben's a little late to the show here. We just had a call-in number, Ben, for anybody that wanted to share stories regarding ghosts and technology and phone calls and that type of stuff. So, but we're out of here, guys. You may see us again tonight if we can get some internet signal to go live. Thanks again, everybody, for watching the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society live talk show. Again, I'm Jason Snyder, and I will see you guys Friday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time at Mitchell, Indiana, at Whispers Estates. Have a good night, everybody, and stay safe out there.